Good morning, Britain. Pick your own grade. And in extraordinary last-minute development, A-level students will be able to choose between the marks awarded tomorrow or their mock results as the government tries to avoid a repeat of the Scottish exams fiasco.
And history in the making. Joe Biden picks Kamala Harris as his vice president running mate. The first black woman and first Asian American to run on a major party ticket. As
the Metropolitan Police closes its files on the murder of Stephen Lawrence, his brother Stuart joins us after 7 to tell us why the family is determined to continue its fight for justice.
This is a wonderful story. The Angel of Beirut will be talking live to nurse Pamela Zenoun, who saved the lives of 3 premature babies caught up in the devastating explosion at the city's port.
Thunderstorms and lightning. For me, it wasn't frightening, and there's more of the same today, and I'll have all the details of that and more live from this vineyard in the South Downs. Good morning, Britain.
Wednesday, 12th of August 2020, live from Television Centre in London. This is Good Morning Britain with Kate Garraway and Adil Ray.
Good morning, Britain. It's 6 o'clock. Welcome to the programme. Did you sleep better?
No.
No?
It's hot, wasn't it?
Oh, it's fine.
Steamy. What do you mean? Oh, God. You and your air conditioning.
I had it at 20 degrees on just level 1.
Did you?
Yeah, lovely.
Did room service?
Oh, yeah, got room service.
Room service?
That's standard room service.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is it?
And I even have the lovely night porter. She comes with my fresh milk.
Does she?
At 3 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, it's just beautiful. Just beautiful. You should come over sometime.
Thank you. Lovely offer. Laura didn't mind the fact that she didn't sleep a wink, did you, Laura? She's aired this morning. Very excited about the storms. You're going to be showing us all your fabulous pictures.
I'm so excited.
I know.
You look lovely. You look so pretty. And where are you? Your background is pretty. Everything's pretty. Where are you exactly today?
Thank you so much. We're at Hambledon Vineyard in Hambledon on the edge of the South Downs, where this hot weather is perfect for the grapes. And you're not really allowed to drink on breakfast telly, so maybe in between the hits we can all cool down with a glass of this.
I love it. What do they grow there? The editor's asking because he wants you to bring a bottle back, basically.
OK, it's sparkling wine. They have a selection of white and rosé sparkling wines.
What are the grapes?
And they've been so
That's
busy.
What he wants to know.
At the beginning of lockdown. I'll have to get back to you on that one. They are small wine grapes.
I'll let you into a secret, Laura.
Here's some grapes.
Neil, our editor, knew that you wouldn't know, and he wanted to tease you because you're such a swot. You are such a swot. You always get your facts. We was trying to find a fact you would know.
Little green ones.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
that wine's staying in my fridge now, Neil.
Our editor says they look like Pinot Noir. He knows far too much about grapes. Anyway, look, thank you, Laura. We're going to enjoy looking at all the fantastic weather that kept lots of people awake and how to keep cool later on. Laura is a bit of a swot. And we're talking about studying this morning because students in England receiving their A-level and GCSE results will be able to choose the best of 3 options. That's the way the government's putting it in their announcement yesterday.
Yeah, this is a very last-minute decision by the Education Secretary. Follows an outcry from thousands of students in Scotland over their disappointing calculated grades. Juliet Dunlop is in Edinburgh. Juliet, how will this now work?
Well, clearly the Education Secretary has been watching very carefully, hasn't he, how events unfolded here in Scotland and wants to avoid going down a similar path because yesterday the Scottish Government was forced into making this embarrassing U-turn over the downgrading of exam results, prompting another apology in the Scottish Parliament to students and parents in Scotland and promising a review of the entire system. And A-level students in England, Wales and Northern Ireland were also looking at going through this similar moderation process that clearly hadn't worked here. So instead, late last night, the Education Secretary Gavin Williamson promising this triple lock to guarantee fairness, as he would put it. So really 3 options now for pupils. Let's take a look at those options. So the first one is that students can accept the results they are given when they open up those envelopes tomorrow. Those grades will be based on teachers' assessments and computer-generated standardisation. So option 2, if they're not happy with that, they can choose to go with the results of their mock exams, and those will be overseen by Ofqual. Option 3, they can opt to sit an exam in the autumn, and the cost of that will be covered by the government. But clearly this morning, many teaching unions and teachers really quite unhappy with these very last-minute changes, calling them half-baked and chaotic, and Labour watching very closely indeed.
I think if the system doesn't work fairly on Thursday, those young people are going to see a really damaging effect on their future choices. A-level results, after all, are what are going to determine their chances of moving on to further study and perhaps the career that they dream of.
Well, certainly what has happened here, really a lesson in what not to do. And the UK government hoping it can avoid going down a similar route, because the Scottish Education Secretary, well, he is facing a vote of no confidence, but perhaps as the situation unfolds over the course of the next few days, it might be a bit like the weather, a bit of thunder and lightning, but the fog now beginning to lift.
Thank you, Juliet. Now, California Senator Kamala Harris has been chosen by Democrat nominee Joe Biden as his running mate for November's presidential election.
Kamala Harris, an experienced lawyer and politician, is the first black woman to run for vice president for a major US party. Ross King is in Los Angeles. So, Ross, what kind of reaction has there been there overnight?
Yeah, morning, Kate. Morning, Adel. Well, the wait is over. Some 5 months ago, Joe Biden announcing that he was going to have a woman there. Even as early as last week, we're hearing there were 11 other women still possibly in the frame. The surprise, not surprising, but certainly history-making, as we know. A lot of excitement, especially here in Hollywood, where she's very well thought of. People think she connects well with people. You'll often hear the expression, you know, like the fearless fighter for the little guy. Smart, tough, ready to lead. And she herself has tweeted, in relation, of course, to Joe Biden, she says, "I'm honoured to join him and to do what it takes to make him our commander-in-chief."
In this extraordinary election campaign, another first. Joe Biden asked Kamala Harris to be his running mate over Zoom. The 55-year-old California senator is the daughter of Jamaican and Indian immigrants and has already made history. The first black and Asian American woman to serve as California's Attorney General.
I think that it actually sends a very strong signal to people that Joe Biden, as a very well-established white male, is willing to be a partner and an equal with a woman of color.
The president, who once donated to her campaigns, now less enthusiastic.
She is a person that's told many stories that weren't true. She's very big into raising taxes. She wants to slash funds for our military at a level that nobody can even believe.
Last year, Kamala Harris butted heads with Joe Biden in heated debates over the Democratic nomination.
And that's why we have the Voting Rights Act and the Civil Rights Act. That's why we need to pass the Equality Act.
But now they're on the same team. Joe Biden tweeting, "Let's go win this." The new running mates are expected to hold their first press conference tomorrow. Ross King, Good Morning Britain, Los Angeles.
Thank you, Ross. In the next hour, Britain will be declared officially in recession for the first time since the global financial crisis.
Figures out this morning from the Office for National Statistics will show the pandemic sent the economy plunging by more than 20% between April and June. Katie Rickett is in Manchester. Katie, it's never good to be in recession, but how do we compare with the rest of Western Europe?
We are the worst in Western Europe, I'm afraid to say, Kate. 2 days of bad news on the trot. Yesterday I was telling you that there were 730,000 job losses since the beginning of lockdown. Today it's pretty much guaranteed we will find out we are in recession. Now, just a reminder, recession is when you have the GDP drops for 2 quarters consecutively. In the first part of the year, GDP dropped by 2.2%. It's expected to be announced today. It nosedived by a whopping 21%, the biggest slump on record in the months leading up to June. Now, perhaps that's unsurprising when you consider these are months when the country was in lockdown. We pretty much had nothing but online retail, but it still presents the government with some really tough